I was absorbed in the investigation of an enigma that defied any conventional logic. It was a peculiar case involving the sudden disappearance of a runner in the midst of a marathon competition. The tangle of mysteries unfolding before me seemed as intricate as the race route itself. The available data was scarce and uninformative. Security cameras showed nothing out of the ordinary, and the spectators' testimonies were vague and disjointed. However, I was convinced that behind the apparent normality of that sporting event lay darker secrets. Immersing myself in the world of long-distance races was a necessary step to unravel the mystery surrounding the runner's disappearance. I soon discovered that behind the facade of competitiveness and camaraderie lay ancient rituals and superstitions deeply rooted in the participant's psyche. In my quest for answers, I delved into a labyrinth of beliefs and traditions that challenged my rational understanding. From lucky charms to esoteric practices, each runner seemed to carry a burden of superstitions that exceeded the limits of reason. It was then that my inquiries led me to a select group of runners who practiced an ancestral ritual in the days leading up to the competition. It was rumored that those who participated in this rite gained an inexplicable advantage during the race, but at an unknown cost. However, as I delved deeper into my investigations, I began to perceive cracks in the apparent solidity of this theory. There was something that didn't quite fit. My suspicions intensified when I discovered that several of the runners involved in the group practicing the ritual had shown an unusual increase in their performance during the competition. As I followed the trail of this new line of investigation, I stumbled upon a much darker secret than the superstitions I had been pursuing. I discovered evidence of the existence of a drug designed to enhance the runner's performance during the race. This substance had been cleverly disguised among the ritual offerings and administered to the runners without their knowledge. The group practicing the ritual was nothing more than a facade to cover up the true purpose of these gatherings, the clandestine distribution of the drug among the participants. The disappearance of the runner had not been an act of magic or the result of an ancestral curse, but rather a tragic consequence of the dark interests lurking behind the competition. With each piece of the puzzle that I managed to fit together, the image of the mystery became clearer, but at the same time more enigmatic. What had really happened to the missing runner? Had he been a victim of supernatural forces invoked by the competition rituals, or was his sudden disappearance an attempt to erase evidence of the supplied drug? In the end, as I closed the case file with more questions than answers, I realized that some enigmas resist being solved by the human mind. And although the case of the disappearance in the middle of the marathon was officially archived as unresolved, the shadow of that mystery would continue to lurk in the darkest corners of my mind, waiting to be illuminated by the truth we so eagerly sought to find.